So good morning to Switzerland, good afternoon to Thailand. I welcome His Excellency Kun Chitipatong Prasert. Thank you for the invitation, Dr. Visit Limlucha, and of course, everybody joining this webinar. We of Stutzer and Company Limited, of course, have a slightly different approach. We are not in the science as the colleagues before. We are more hands-on, let's say, in the trade, which means we source and import and distribute foodstuffs for Switzerland, and in some cases for European customers. I would like to start actually at one important topic, not only in the science but also in the trade nowadays, which is sustainability. I can say that over the last 20 years, the pressure from the consumer, starting from the consumer, over the authorities, from the trade, from the buyers, to create more sustainability for this world has been increasing. As a matter of fact, we as a company have seen in our almost 60 years of business, have seen a lot of changes in the last 20 years. We came as a small company, nowadays being a medium-sized company and trader, importer, distributor in Switzerland, where we had to introduce different steps to improve the overall sustainability and safety. Back 20 years ago, very simple, where we decided to say, okay, quality assurance and quality management was a big topic. We introduced our own quality management with several people assuming the responsibility and making sure that whatever we bring in, also from Thailand, is fully complying with our legislation and product safety requirements. We today have different certifications that we can, on one side, comply with authorities' demand, but also, of course, on the other side, with the demand from our customers and buyers, whether it is ISO certification, including HACCP, which we have done a long time ago, whether it is MSC certification for fishery and seafood items, ASC certifications for agricultural products, organic certifications to enable us to handle organic products, and so on. Finally, ending up nowadays at a very, very new stage also for us. Since 2023, Stutzer & Company Limited is a member of the SBTi, which is the Science Based Targets Initiative. As far as I am aware, nowadays we have about 6,000 companies in the world which approached SBTi, and 3,500 companies in the world which have approved targets. And we are one of these 3,500 companies nowadays with approved targets since 2023. So our company has a commitment to reduce emissions, CO2 emissions, by 2030. We committed to reduce our emissions by over 40% by 2030. It is a big step for our company, but we see it also as a big chance. On one side, obviously, it is something for the future, for our children, for our grandchildren. And on the other side, it is something that also we have to do to be part or remain part of the business. We have seen all major big companies in Switzerland, also global companies, um, um, taking this step and committing to the reduction of the CO2 footprint. And we joined this group of companies, including some of our customers here in Europe and Switzerland. So to be honest, no commitment to SBTI means, and this is, I think, something that is important for the Thai manufacturers and exporters as well. Sooner or later, if you are not committed to reduce your CO2 footprint, you will be cut out of the supply chain. This is a very important issue, uh, which goes along, of course, with the commitment given by the European Community in Brussels and by the Swiss government to reduce CO2 footprint. So we as a company joined this commitment, and sooner or later, uh, it, even our suppliers and manufacturers abroad, whether in Thailand or elsewhere, will be asked to participate. And if not, we as a member of SBTI will be forced actually to do our business only with companies which committed to do the same as part of the big picture and big deal. So this is certainly something which is very important, and Thai manufacturers have to look into it for the future. Then, if we look at the trends, certainly something which is going on since now, as I said, since decades, is food safety. As Mr. Fabio Campanile pointed out earlier, the trend goes into no pesticides, less pesticides. This is a big issue. I wouldn't say we need only organic products. Would be nice as a consumer, but on industrial scale, it's always difficult. So I would say pesticide reduction is already a big step. I believe Switzerland can play a key role in supporting Thai government officials, but also Thai manufacturers in reducing pesticides, in monitoring food safety by controlling the levels of residues, whether it's pesticides or others, and training, of course, training properly the people involved with it. I have to say, we are working with Swiss labs to test our products, raw materials, and finished products that we purchase from abroad. I have to be honest, I have never seen other labs working at the same level. They are very sophisticated, which again makes it, and I understand that point. I'm coming from the commercial side, from the trading. I understand it is not easy for Thai manufacturers to cope with our very high standards that we aim to have here in Switzerland. I have to say, sometimes coming from the commercial side, even for myself, for our teams, it is difficult to to understand and difficult to explain to our business partners abroad why we need these high standards, why we need to implement it. But at the end of the day, the manufacturers, the exporters in Thailand and elsewhere have to understand that we simply have to follow our regulations. And we are well aware that our standards are very, very high. But I can only say to our dear partners and suppliers, manufacturers, that I can only repeat myself. If you can make it to comply with Swiss standards, I'm pretty sure you will make it everywhere in the world. You won't have any issues if you comply with our very high standards. You are safe in whatever other country in this world, because we know ourselves that our target standards are very, very high and difficult to cope with. It is sometimes so difficult that I have to say sometimes we have to give up, not because we want, but because we simply see that input and output is a big gap. We cannot ask from our partners to invest huge amounts of money, huge amounts of efforts just for our little tiny Swiss market. I understand that. But if we look at the bigger picture, again, if you can comply with our standards, you can easily serve the rest of the world without any fear that your product would not comply. That's my point of view. Then another chance that is in the market, of course, today for Thai food as well, is convenience. Convenience food is not only something that is very popular already in the retail business. Nowadays, if you look at food service, it's increasing year by year, and since the pandemic at a very high rate, in fact. We have seen after the pandemic, the whole Western world, I would say at least, I cannot speak for Asia, but at least for Europe, the Western world, we have seen a dramatic change of people's behavior. The food service has huge problems with to obtain skilled workers, whether it's in the restaurants, in the big central kitchens. So what do? You have less skilled workers, so automatically you are in need of more convenience produce, which is basically semi-manufactured product or product that don't need to be processed much in the kitchen itself by the chefs or today's less skilled workers, because you simply can't find enough skilled chefs. So I think there is a big chance for Thailand if Thai manufacturers are able to take their legacy, their flavors the flavors that you can provide with your herbs and spices, which are unique, and transfer it, process it in a way that you can serve with authentic taste, but already in a semi transformed product that is more easy to be handled over here by the kitchens and by our customers. At the same time, the uniqueness of the spices and herbs that you have in Thailand can help the industry in Thailand to protect itself from copycats. Obviously, we have seen that all over these years, that you bring, or in general, we have new products in the market. They are successful. Obviously, globalization allows to have them produced in other countries. In the case of Thailand, it can be Vietnam, it can be China, it can be Malaysia, which then produce so-called Thai flavors for the rest of the world, or Western companies in Europe and USA, North America, who use these spices and herbs to produce in the domestic market here in Western countries by themselves. But I think if you use your knowledge, your ingredients, then you can protect yourself and obtain authentic tastes, which you keep in hand and with your skills can transform into semi-product or already finished product for the export. Another point that I would like to point out is the vegan trend. Of course, we have seen that has also been mentioned earlier. There is a big trend into vegan. Thailand knows vegan kitchen already since always, I would say, due to your Buddhist background and beliefs. You are used to eat vegan, if not every day, then certainly at some special days during the year where you used to do that. So vegan it has become a big trend because of gut health, because of health trends in general, because of sustainability. We are asked, let's say, to use less resources, which means consume less meat products, consume less animal product. So the vegan trend is going into this direction. Nowadays, I feel the vegan trend, and some people would kill me for saying trend. It is for them more than a trend. It's a daily life. But in general, I would say it is at the moment in Western countries, especially in Europe, it's a huge marketing tool. Obviously, there is this need of more sustainability and more vegan nutrition, but at the moment, it's in my opinion, it seems bigger than it is at the moment through marketing, using it as a marketing tool for the reputation of some companies, retailers, and so on. But definitely, it is something that will be developing in the next 5, 10, 20 years. It's going to be more than just a trend. It's going to be probably in the future for our kids or our grandkids, it will be something normal. Me, as an old school guy, I'm slowly getting used to it, as many of us. But it's something unavoidable if we look at what our scientific friends are showing us and telling us with facts that show that we cannot continue like this. So our target as a company, as a trading company, is as a first step, we committed to science-based target initiatives at SBTI. We committed to reduce CO2 footprint. So in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see more changes. We already start talking to our partners, suppliers, manufacturers, also in Thailand, um, um, asking them to look into it, asking them to get prepared to run their business not only based on commercial aspects, but also based on sustainable aspects by producing uh, healthier products, by producing products which have a smaller CO2 footprint. Um, and as a manufacturer, I understand that doesn't go without the cooperation of the raw material suppliers, and there is where the Thai agricultural sector comes in. Um, I think agriculture raw material supplies in Thailand must improve. Some do a very good job, others not yet. They have to improve. They have to um, be taught how to improve, how to reduce residues, how to reduce pesticide chemical residues, to have a more cleaner raw material at the end of the day, allowing that Thai manufacturers can work with clean raw material and produce more sustainable products for the export, and also very, very important, not only for the export, but also for the domestic market, for the Thai society in Thailand itself. We noticed over the last decades that by having very high standards in Europe and in the Western countries, unfortunately, I have to say, for Thai people and for the Thai community, um, um, the cleanest and best product goes into the export, because we finally as the buyer are setting the targets very high. We are checking, our authorities are checking, Europe is checking, European authorities checking, and we try to bring in healthy, clean products, let's say, or at least complying products with our regulations. Um, what does it mean? The industry does its best. We hope to do its best to give us a product that is complying. But at the end of the day, most of the product, to be honest, the export is just a tiny part of what is consumed. Most of the raw material, most of the finished product is consumed in your domestic market in Thailand. And we get the best out of it because we force exporters, we force the industry to give us a compliant product, clean product. But in the domestic market, obviously there are regulations, there are laws in domestic as well in Thailand. But what we see is that what is not going to the export, what is maybe a higher problem, bigger problem for Europe, which unfortunately or fortunately, depending from which side you're looking at it, has the highest standards in the world. The less complying products, let's say, remain in Thailand and are consumed in Thailand. So I think from an industry perspective, government perspective in Thailand, it's in your very best and very own interest to make sure that raw material and raw produce in Thailand is as clean and as healthy as it can be manufactured at industrial scale, I have to say. We see the trend in the last 5 to 10 years, I would say, there are more manufacturers offering organic choice. Sometimes not at the highest standard, but we see that they are trying to, at least. Some are succeeding. Some are trying to, but still need some time to develop more and more. So I would ask all government officials, ministries involved, and people from the industry to support your suppliers, raw material suppliers, your farmers. That it's a two-way motorway. Let's say they need your support. They need the support from the government. They need the support from their buyers, finally, from the industry, and the buyers need the support from the farmers, from the farmers association, the will to produce a product that is fit for the world, and supplying also domestic market with a more healthy choice, I would say. What we are doing since 30 years already is we try to help our suppliers to come to a level that allows us to work with them, and that allows them at the end of the day to do a more safer business, not only with us in Switzerland, but also with other companies in Europe, whether in the UK, Germany, France, Benelux, and so on. Our regulations are pretty much the same nowadays. The only difference that I can see coming from the more practical side is that maybe the Swiss side is a bit stricter when it comes to evaluate some regulations and adapt regulations. The Swiss side usually is stricter there, and it might be the case also that our authorities might have the one or the other more check in the market and of the products in the market than maybe their colleagues in some other EU countries. So the more we check, obviously, the more reason to have a clean product in the market. I would like to thank the government side in Thailand on this occasion. We had, from time to time, we've had a meeting with the agricultural ministry, other ministries involved, and we are happy to share our point of view, and we hope that government side is supporting us as buyers, at the same time supporting the exporting industry in Thailand, when if they can reach the regulations that we are asked for by our governments, then we can avoid big troubles on both sides and avoid the risk of having to retrieve products from the market because non-compliance. So I would like to thank everybody for joining this seminar. If there are any questions, you're free to let me know. Thank you very much.